Let's talk about Giannis. So there's a lot of trade buzz right now in the NBA and a lot of trade buzz with Giannis. Who knows if he's actually going to get traded, because he did just say today that he wants to win another ring in Milwaukee. But the money is on Giannis getting traded. It seems like it's the right time, both for him as a player and the franchise, to move on, get a fresh chapter. Giannis wants to win another ring. It's really hard to see that happening in Milwaukee. But with all of the rumors, there's a lot of teams that people keep floating that just don't make any sense to me. Like when people throw the Knicks out there, it's always Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, some draft picks. Because keep in mind, the Bucks, they can't do what most teams do in this situation. They can't just trade him for a bunch of picks and tank, because the Bucks don't have control of any of their picks for like the next 6 or 7 years. So it's kind of a unique situation. But the Knicks trade, it makes sense for the Bucks on paper, because Cat and Bridges, you're still probably at least a play-in team in the East, because the East is very weak. I don't understand the fit for Giannis, though. We've watched him struggle to mesh with Damian Lillard for the last 2 years. How's he going to fit with Jalen Brunson? I don't see that fit there. The Spurs are another popular pick. Everybody loves the Spurs, man. Everybody loves pouring gas on Wemby and hyping him up as a top 10 player. I struggle to see the fit with Wemby with Giannis. Not on defense. The defense would be amazing. That offense, though, I struggle to see how they fit together, how that meshes having the two of them in the same lineup together. So I don't understand that one. The Rockets are another one that's thrown out a lot. On paper, Şengün and Giannis would be a lot of fun, especially with Şengün's playmaking. I could see some high pick and roll action, some pick and roll plays off of the elbow. You know, Şengün is really good in that space. We watched what he did to Draymond in those playoffs, but the defense it'd be a little choppy. I don't know. I see Giannis eventually just being a full-time 5, so I don't know how that works with Şengün. The other thing with Giannis too is, if I'm Giannis, why do I want to go out west? I would not want to go out west. It's a bloodbath out west. You got to compete not only with the Thunder, but you got Anthony Edwards out there. You got Luka in LA now. It's going to be tough in the West for many years. If Wemby ever reaches the peak that everybody thinks he's going to reach, that's another guy you got to compete with out there. So the East is a much easier path for Giannis. The problem is there's just not a lot of teams out East that make sense. People keep throwing the Raptors out there. I never understand what the Raptors are doing. Don't understand that roster at all. You got Quickly, you got Barrett, you got Barnes, you got Ingram. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of dudes who are rated like 80 on NBA 2K, and you're trying to make a good team out of it, and they're just not a good team. The Nets are another one that's a rebuilding situation. I don't know why Giannis would want to go there. My favorite team, a team that's not talked about a lot for Giannis, Detroit Pistons. Nobody ever mentions them, but he would be a lot of fun there, and they would actually compete for a title, especially with how in flux the East is with Jason Tatum's injury next year. So you got Giannis, you got Cade. If you can keep Thompson, if you can keep Holland, I would throw everything else in that trade, whatever draft picks they needed to make happen. That's a serious contender in the East. That's a fun team to watch. I would love it.